Hello, and thank you for joining me as we continue to play Minecraft. Welcome back to another Minecraft Monday. We're over here in my creative world right now. We're on my floating island, and yes, it's an island that floats over the sea. Really, it's more of a floating. I don't know, I'm not very good at the whole island shaped thing, but there's a thing, and there's a thing in the distance. I made a thing. Either that or there's some strange Space Invader stuff going on right now. But here's the thing. As I slowly fly over to it, it is a very large Enderhead. Enderman head. And I know, it's probably not proportionally accurate. I kind of just made this for fun. And the eyes aren't accurate, and it doesn't actually have a tiny little mouth. But there's stuff inside this Enderhead, and it's not entirely friendly. So let's just push this button here as the sun sets. Oh, you can hear it. Quick. And let's run off the side. And we will see that mobs start falling out of the bottom of this Enderhead. What a strange gift you have given us, oh magnificent alien invaders. So yeah. And of course they just fall to their death. The strange thing about this is, as a mob farm, it does create a large shadow, so you would kind of need to light this area up if you don't want it, full of hostile mobs in the daytime. Anyway, so let's go up there and take a look at how this all works. As a side note, I kind of like how the eyes turned out on this. They kind of follow you. And yes, our Enderman is a little bit sad. A little bit sad because he has been created to destroy his compatriots. Let's just... Oop. Yay, it's day again, which has absolutely no effect on the inside of this place. So this is what it looks like on the inside. It is a big, empty chamber. Let's just light it up so not too many things spawn in here. Basically, I just made this for fun. It is not 100% effective, 100% efficient. Mainly because there are a couple of dead spots in here where the water, which flows down from these dispensers, if we can just get... boop. Aha! There we go. So yes, there are a couple of dead spots where mobs don't fall, and oh yeah, I put that there, so yeah. Normally, if it didn't have glowstone all over it, which we kind of still need, it wouldn't have any spots where there aren't water on the ground here. But there are a couple of, if we can find them, I think my glowstone actually fixed it. Yeah, right here. Dead spots. So this is definitely not the most efficient mob system farm thing. But as I say, I just kind of made it for fun. I was trying to see what I could do with water streams in a big open area. I still believe that the best way to do this is not with a big open area, but with smaller spawning pads and water in between, and just let mobs naturally fall off. But I thought it would be kind of cool to make a system. Whoops, let's get rid of that. Boom. And everything's off again. I thought it would be kind of cool to make a system where you push a button and a bunch of hostile mobs just fall out of the bottom of an Enderhead. Maybe that's weird. Maybe it is. But it's something that I built in my creative world. It's kind of weird, I must admit. I have built some other things in my creative world in the meantime, not only my floating island thing, whatever shape you might want to call that, I built some other stuff. This is what my tower, remember my tower? You remember my tower. This is kind of what my tower was going to look like in my survival world. It was going to have this big, weird thing on the top of it. Probably not looking exactly like that, but something along those lines. But I built it here, and first realized that it looked really weird, just kind of sitting on top of a tower. It would probably have to be bigger and inset and stuff. And also, oh, I fell a little bit. Also, I wanted to hook all of these redstone lamps up to a daylight sensor, like I have in my base there around my fishing pond. But it turns out that that is probably impossible to do. The only way I have all of these hooked up, actually, is by putting switches all over them, and they power the ones around them. Yeah. So that probably wouldn't work out very well in my survival world. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to put on top of my tower in my survival world. I'll probably have to figure that out. But what I'm definitely going to put on the inside of my tower, might as well give you this preview, is, if we fall down here, okay, is a minecart elevator. And these are very effective at getting, well, upward and downward in a very short space of time. A very short time of time. But they're very effective. You can go up and you can go up. You can fall down and get caught. Ow. Okay, not that time. The ladder technique is a little bit dangerous in that way. Putting just one ladder there. Whoop. Oh no. They're a little bit dangerous. But I like the danger. If you put just one ladder block there, it's a little bit dangerous if you have trapdoors everywhere else, because the ladder doesn't have as large of a catch area as you might think, and you may sometimes fall to your death using this. No! Okay, and I broke it. Oh well. Live and learn. Okay. Let's just run away from there. And here's my little test thinger with the daylight sensors and lights and stuff, figuring out how that works. Actually, let's at night. Let's check this out. This is something that I didn't know and seems a little bit weird to me. These were not on in the daytime, even though the daylight sensor was not looking at sunlight, but at night, work with me, guys. Guys, these were working. There we go. But at night, they start flashing. After the moon has risen to a certain point, it doesn't seem to have to do with light levels at all, but they start flashing. And other than creating like a natural nighttime clock of some sort, I don't really see any huge use for that, but I just found that kind of weird. There are, if we break this one, you see that one keeps flashing. There's a daylight sensor in here with no access to light, and it starts flashing like that. It's kind of weird. It's probably a known effect, and people have probably used it before, but it's kind of weird. And then I went over here, and I started playing with columns, because that is kind of the style in which I want to outfit my survival base now that I've, done everything in the game. And that brings me to something I wanted to mention, which is that I'm falling down this ravine, which is that after this week, I don't think Minecraft Monday is going to be a regular weekly thing, because after beating the game, really, in order to come out with a weekly series of stuff, Minecraft takes a lot of time. And that's time that I don't necessarily have. By the way, this is more column stuff. I'm going to need to mine a lot of nether quartz. But Oh yeah. So yeah, it probably won't be a weekly thing, but I will definitely continue coming out with Minecraft episodes on my second channel whenever I have something interesting to show you. Not only does it take a lot of time, but I need to spend that time doing other things for, the main channel and stuff. Because, I'm not a professional Minecrafter or anything. You know how it is, Spider. But anyway, so what was I? Anyway, yeah, playing around with columns and stuff. Nether quartz, like this is definitely the kind of column that they had in mind when they made nether quartz quartz column blocks. That's what it's pillar quartz, whatever. Pillar quartz blocks. Yeah. This kind of thing, and that takes a lot of quartz. Also have these smaller ones with two wide gaps and roads. This is something that I really wanted to do and I've been experimenting with quite a bit in my creative world is how to make a good road that goes with columns and, most importantly, has integrated lighting. And I wanted to make that lighting fully integrated with the road and lighting that lights up at night. And this, I think, is my best solution so far. It's a 3-wide road with the lights embedded under the side of the road. The road is half slabs, bottom slabs actually. It's surrounded by stairs, has wool under it, and a little bit of glass. The glass is there because under my roads, I hope to have some room to do a subsurface structure thing that's also lit up by these lights and this glass. And the reason I wanted it to be as shallow as possible is because I wanted to have space under here. Anyway, the way it's done is very simple. We just have a light detector here, which could be anywhere. Goes into a block. There's a torch under there, and that torch is powering this line of redstone and that repeater. I don't know why I put a repeater there. Anyway, powering that line of redstone. That line of redstone is quite simply powering these redstone lamps. And I think it looks pretty alright when it's all together. Oh no. It's a pretty good system. It's all self-contained and self-lighting and stuff, and you can put these lights at any interval you want. I put them at 4 spaces in between. You could probably get away with putting them like, I don't know, 7? Maybe? I don't know. Go away, rain. I don't want you here. So yeah, if I have the time and if I can figure out where to put them, I really want to put these roads in around my base and around things like that and have all the lights come on at night. I think it would be really cool. It would be pretty expensive. Well, the slabs aren't expensive, the stairs aren't expensive, the wool isn't particularly expensive. I take that back, it wouldn't be that expensive. But I'd really need to plan out my roads very carefully because in order to do things like this, where the road goes downhill and turns and stuff like that, it would take a little bit of figuring out. So I'd really need to plan out my roads very carefully, which is something I haven't done in the past. I've just kind of put roads wherever they might go. But yeah. So that's a little preview of what my design for the next while is going to look like. Oh yeah, and this. I forgot about this. I hadn't planned to spend this much time in my creative world, but we might as well. So let's block that off. Okay, so you can see we have a bunch of glowstone up here, surrounded by stairs. It looks very nice. And we have a little hole in the floor. A little hole in the floor that goes to a little brick thing. Let's cover that hole. Huh. Well, let's open that hole back up. What do you know? All of this glowstone is doing absolutely nothing in terms of lighting this room. This is one thing I don't really like about Minecraft. In order for glowstone to light up a place, it needs to have at least one entire face open, which to me sounds a little fishy. Because you can see it. You can see so much glowstone up there. But no, it's not lighting it. This little hole that connects to some glowstone, like over there, is doing more to light up this room than all of this glowstone. It's a little bit weird, don't you think? Oh yeah, and then I was, last but not least, I swear, I'll get back to my survival world in a moment. But last but not least, I should have... Boat. Give me boat. Boat. Thank you. Swear I'll get back to my survival world in a moment, but I was just playing around with roads, like the boat road. I probably didn't do this correctly, but we take that, creeper. I broke the boat. Nice. Nice. That looks really weird, just floating up there. Looks like an alien. I like it. Also, packed ice. Packed ice is a very good means of transportation. It doesn't really work in creative because you can just fly and you start flying, but you run rather quickly over it, which is nice, and which you probably already knew if you play Minecraft at all. But, oops, I'm flying. Yeah, anyway. That's about all I had to show you in my creative world, I think. So I will see you over in my survival world, and we have a couple of things to catch up on there as well. See you in a sec. Alright. Excuse me. So we're back in my survival world, and you can see I've marked out kind of where I think those roads might go. I need to make more slabs in order to actually make that work. But I'm not very good at laying out roads. I didn't really make any of this in a grid, so I can't really do that, which is inconvenient. But I'll work with what I've got. You may notice that I'm running extremely fast, and possibly also that I have a beacon over here. I have a beacon over here now. I have haste 2 on it. It's a full beacon, and it is, as you can see, not completely emerald as I had planned. In fact, it's mostly iron, with a little bit of emerald around the outside, and mostly iron on the bottom, a little bit of gold, and even some diamond. So you can see my plan to get emeralds is not going particularly well. I mean, I'm getting a lot of emeralds. You can see I have a lot of emerald blocks and more on the way. More on the way. But yeah, the main thing that's holding me back right now is just kind of grinding these sheep and these chickens and this wheat, and it's just a time sink. At this point, I might as well just cheat a bunch of emeralds into the world, because it's inevitable that at some point I will get the necessary emeralds to get as many beacons as I want. It'll just take a lot of gameplay. Mainly what I've been doing, though, is being distracted by just running around here with haste 2 and then eating chicken, because I have infinite chicken from this guy. It's my villager's last trade, so it resets all of his other trades. So I have infinite cooked chicken, and I need to give him infinite uncooked chicken. By the way, the chicken farm is going very nicely. It's growing a lot of chickens, and when everything is full of eggs, well, that's not full of eggs, but eggs are overflowing from this thing regularly, and these guys are due for a killing. Avert your eyes if you are averse to chicken slaughtering, I guess. There they go. Okay. And I probably don't have any... Oh, yeah, I do have room in my inventory. Boom. But this doesn't have room in its inventory. Let's go like that. We don't need so many feathers. I have so many feathers. I have entire double chests full of feathers. Get out of here. All I want is the chicken. And no worries. Excellent. So yeah, chicken farm is going well. I have more eggs and feathers than I know what to do with. The production schedule is pretty good. As you can see, though, the chickens up top only do about a single chest in the time that it takes the chickens to grow and fill a chest with eggs. So you would probably want to put about 200 to 300 chickens up there, but I am a little hesitant to put that many chickens up there. By the way, if you haven't seen last episode, check out last episode where I went a little bit insane building my machine for chickens. It's a little bit insane in general. But I still don't have a machine for sheep, mainly because you can't shear sheep automatically, and I don't really want to automatically breed and kill sheep because you can shear them without killing them. Uh, but that has mainly just taken up a lot of shears. You might notice that I have expanded my sheep out here. I bred them once, so I have 50% more sheep eating 100% more grass, so that has increased my yields quite a bit. I still have these sheep here. These are going to be my dyeing sheep for whenever I need wool of a certain color. I can dye this and dye them, and I will have a nice dyed for sheep thing. But I really haven't had the need for dyed sheep of a specific color yet, so they're still off the hook. They're still regular old sheep. So yeah, by the way, just to catch you up, all of the sheep, all of the chicken, all of the wheat is going towards my villager friend who is trading me emeralds. The emeralds are going towards my beacons. My beacons are a result of my having killed 2 withers so far, working on a 3rd. But that brings us to how I'm getting wheat. Do I have any seeds? I don't have any seeds. I'm very prepared. How I'm getting wheat now. I still have a wheat farm, and the wheat farm is full of wheat, and I'm not harvesting it. Why am I not harvesting it? Because I have this now. This is the E13 wheat farm. It's mainly Etho's design. I will link his video and the other video in which this appears, in which I found it originally, in the description. So check those out if you want to see how to build it. It's very compact. I have no idea how the redstone works, but I know that it works, and I appreciate that it works. Etho did most of it, and Sethbling added the carpet around the top, and this button that does nothing. Actually, the button doesn't do nothing. It makes sure that you are timed correctly, so that you don't try to place anything while it's up here, because the button... Sorry, that's probably loud. Because this button inhabits the space and you can't plant anything here, well, there's a space inhabited here. But the way it works is you stand on this pressure plate, you plant seeds, and those seeds become wheat. And more seeds. The way that this is done is all of these are filled with blown meal. Stop. And that bone meal grows the wheat and doesn't go beyond growing the wheat, because if it tries to dispense bone meal onto fully grown wheat, it just won't dispense. So you can basically just stand here until you run out of bone meal and grow wheat. It's not the most fun way to grow wheat, but it is the easiest. It's the least labor intensive, and I really appreciate that design. So if you would like to know how to build that design, I'm not going to go over it. Check out the video in the description, or I guess both of the videos in the description, and yeah, find out how to build that. What else? There's so much I need to catch you up on. I didn't think I'd really done much in Minecraft over the last week, but apparently I've done quite a bit. I didn't think I had that much time, but I do. And I'm just running around for the fun of it. See? It's addictive. Like, you run faster than your horses. It's ridiculous. You also run out of food very quickly. Another thing that I've done over the last week is I have made a map. I've made a map that is the largest a map can be, and I have mapped my entire surroundings. And you might notice something about this map. It's pretty boring. We have in the northwest a bunch of swamps. We have in the southeast a bunch of ocean. Beyond that, and this is what I really hate about maps, you can't really tell the difference between the plains and the extreme hills and the forests, and it all just looks the same. In fact, most of the places that I link to in my Nether hub are off of this map. The only place that is on this map is up in the north. I can't point to it because I'm holding it. The only place that is on this map is up to the northwest, which is my end fortress. Fortress. Do they just call it a fortress? Anyway, it's my fortress. And it's slightly up to the northwest. Everywhere else that I link to through my Nether terminal is completely off of this map. And I wish you could make a larger map. And I wish there was an easy way to make multiple 1 to 16 maps, like, side by side. There is a way to calculate it, though, and you can go into the specific chunk that would load the next map when you made the map there, but I'm too lazy to do that. Heck, I hardly managed to map this entire place. It was a lot of walking around. I didn't even fly. I just walked around the entire perimeter of the map and then filled it in. It was kind of tedious, but now I have a map of my continent. My boring, boring continent. I don't know, if you made a map of a mesa or mesa, I don't know, or a desert or something like that, it would probably show up more distinctly on these maps, but as you can see, I got a very, very boring continent. So yeah, that is basically what I've done over the last week. Exciting, right? Right. So there is one thing that I wanted to get done this episode, which is sleeping. Good morning. There is one thing that I wanted to get done this episode, which is working on that library. So I will see you over there as we continue working on the interior of that library. I'm not going to do the top of that yet because I think I need to rearrange the tiers there, and that's going to be a lot of boring work. So you may recall, or I may have just told you, I don't remember, that this building up here is going to be my library. It's going to be where I'm going to... I don't even know why I opened that. I could have just jumped over it. It's going to be where I keep my enchanted books, or at least most of them. It feels so weird to get out of the range of that speed beacon. But it's going to be where I keep most of my enchanted books, and probably where I do a lot of my enchanting too. Stay away, creeper. Let's go... Wah! Ow. Almost made it that time. Almost. And yeah, it's going to be a cool place to hang out. You will notice that I have done practically nothing up here since last time, except for this. I've made a little bookshelf inset into the wall. And let's just take a look at what happens when I step on this pressure plate. Ah! It opens. And I know this probably isn't a very revolutionary idea, but yeah, this is just a basic way to store books inside your bookshelf. You just get a single chest and stick it under there. And I don't exactly remember how this works, so let's chop this apart. Ah, it hurts to chop that apart. No, keep going. Okay, we can kind of see how this works. Boop. So the pressure plate activates this redstone here. The redstone goes into the torch. The torch activates the piston. When the redstone activates the block below the torch stops activating the piston, and the piston sucks back. The piston is, of course, attached to our bookshelf, so it reveals our chest. And essentially, that is the way that I plan on storing all of my enchanted books in here. I'm kind of sad, though, that it does require space below. Like, I wanted to do 2 layers of this right on top of each other, and if I did that... That's a scary noise. If I did that, I would need to put at least 2 blocks below, so it would kind of go like this, which is not good. Because the whole point of digging out a big building is to have, you know, headroom, room to breathe, room to grow, room to, I don't know, room to think, sure. So yeah, in order to do this on the second level, I think I'm going to need to inset it a little bit to do kind of a stair-steppy thing, or just have all of my storage on the bottom level and, you know, have the top level just for show. I'm still not exactly sure how I'm going to do my hidden door up to my tower and my bridge. but I'm sure I will figure that out, uh, well, eventually. But for now, let's just get some work done on the bookshelves in here, and you will see me in a moment. Alright, so here's what I've done so far. First off, I've finally replaced this with a little bit of a spirally staircase. I've always wanted a spiral staircase. It's not a staircase yet, it's just a block case. But yeah, it's a lot more compact than what I had there before. And it doesn't stick out into the floor. I'm probably going to replace all of this with either carpet or planks. Probably carpet. I'll probably do it in like red or blue or something. And that will look a lot better than like cobble and grass and dirt and stuff like that. I've also recreated my little mechanism here twice over, and it's taken a lot of books to do that. So yeah, now I have a little bit of storage in here for my enchanted books and other secret passages that I might require. And I'm probably going to keep on working on this for the next little while, and get this place hopefully looking a little bit nicer than it does right now. It'll take a lot of books, it'll take a lot of planks, and it will take a lot of time. But again, I will probably not be making one of these every week because I just don't have time, I find, to do this and everything else. But next time, you will hopefully see that this place is looking a little bit nicer. A little bit nicer than last time. And that's all we can really hope for. That I leave this place a little bit better off than it was before. So, I think I'm going to leave it there for this episode. So, thank you for joining me as we continue to play Minecraft today in another Minecraft Monday. And, goodbye? Yeah. 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 That was weird. I just took a screenshot for no apparent reason. Great. Great. Yeah. I got practically nothing done today. And so it goes. Wait, you're still here?